Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say, Call Hala Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rukagadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who have taught me this truth. And shalom also to the Akim pushing this word in sincerity and in truth, and to the speckled bird that's across the four corners of the world. Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson, and let's jump right into it. The first scripture that I want to start off with is Ecclesiastes 3:8, and it says, well, first, actually, let me start off with the beginning, and then I'm going to skip down to verse 8. It says, from the top, it says, Ecclesiastes 3:1, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. That's right. There's a time for everything to happen under the heavens, and we are under the heavens. We're under the sun. This is the place of judgment, right? So let's get down to verse 8, and this is the point I want to make. It says, Ecclesiastes 3:8, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. And right now we are currently in the time of hate, and we are in the time of war. There's no time for love and no time for peace right now in the world that we are currently in, because the truth is being addressed, and the wicked elite, they hate that. They don't like that this truth is being pushed throughout the four corners of the world, and this truth, it's destroying their so-called foundations to their society, and this is most definitely a time for war, a time of hate, because even the son of perdition, he's being revealed, which is Esau Edom, which the Lord hates. So this is definitely the time of hate. The Lord did not come to bring peace, but he came to bring a sword. Let's get that as well. Matthew 10. Salakia. Matthew 10:34, it says, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. And that's right. He came not to bring peace. Like we just read in Ecclesiastes 3:8, there's a time of war and a time for peace. But right now we're in the time of war. And Yahweh Shai is well aware that right now, this time that we're approaching, it's definitely a time of war. And not only that, but the Lord, he's a man of war as well. So the son, his son, his only begotten son as well, he's a man of war as well. Let's get that real quick. Slakia. Exodus 15:3, it says, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. And that's right. I was watching a video of the apostles, one of the apostles, and he said that the Lord loves a good fight. And that's right. The man, he's a man of war. So what makes you think that his son is not going to be a man of war either? His son most definitely is a man of war. And this time that we're approaching is a time of war. He came not to bring peace, but a sword. Right now is not a time for love, it's a time for hate. The son of perdition is being revealed, which is Esau Edom. So this is most definitely a time of war and hate. We're not approaching a time of peace, which is, when everything is said and done, when all these prophecies kick off, and then, the Lord comes and New Jerusalem gets set up, and all that beautiful things, all those beautiful things come, then it's going to be a time of peace and a time for love. But right now we are approaching a time of war, and when war comes, we have to be prepared for it. We have to be prepared for it. Let's get because I said the son of perdition. So let's get, I think it's 2 Thessalonians 2:3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. And that's right. We had to fall away from the truth, and that's why there's a great awakening coming. That's why we're prophesying um to the winds, and we're speaking these words to the dry bones, because we're coming back alive. We're coming we're forming back into that one stick. We're coming back to our ensign, which is Yahweh Shai. You know, that's what it says in Isaiah 11:11, and until like verse 13. You know that this is we're gathering from all the four corners of the world. We're coming back to our ensign. That ensign being Yahweh Shai. But first we had to fall away from the truth. A lot of people during the time of 70 AD and so on and so forth, a lot of our people fell away from the truth, but now we're awakening, so that had to happen first. And let me finish the verse. And it says, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And that son of perdition, when you go into that word perdition, it really means destruction. And who got the blessing of the sword? That was Esau. Let's go into that word perdition real quick.
Strong's G 684. Apoleia.
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 That's how you say it in Greek. Perdition, apoleia, which means destroying, utter destruction, perishing, ruin, destruction. So that son of destruction, who is the son of destruction? Who got the blessing of the sword? Esau, which the Lord hates. The Lord hates Esau. And that's all throughout the scriptures, New Testament and Old Testament, But first, let's get that Genesis of when he got the blessing of the sword, so we could prove that as well. So, brothers could be edified, who the people that are looking for this truth, so they could go back into those verses and read it for themselves. Genesis 27, and let's start at 38. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Because when Esau gave up his blessing for a morsel of meat, he came back to Isaac, and he was looking for a blessing. He was crying for a blessing. He wanted to get blessed so bad, And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy blessing shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. Because that's what's going on right now in the world. The says that the world was given into the hands of the wicked, and that's right now we're seeing that we're living in that time right now as we speak, and we've been living in that time for a very long time. That manifested, because the Lord spoke that his counsel is going to stand forever. So right now, he's right here, Isaac is telling Esau that his dwelling will be the fatness of the earth. And right now, currently, these so-called superpowers, America, Russia, China, and all these places, right now the number one superpower of the world is the United States. It controls almost everything. They have almost 800 bases, military bases throughout the whole world. They have U.S. embassies anywhere. They could go anywhere. Well, not anymore because of the pandemic, but before this pandemic, America, was the thriving place that people wanted to come and be like, and all these other things. His dwelling was the fatness of the earth. He could go anywhere. He could, if he had a passport, he could go anywhere in the world, because the United States has literally, they could travel anywhere. They could have. That was back then, but you know, that's basically what this is saying. And of the dew of heaven from above. This is the point. The point is in verse 40. It says, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. That's right, because it says that the elder shall serve the younger. Esau is going to end up becoming slaves in the kingdom. They're going to be serving Jacob. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. That's right, they're going to serve us in the end. But by the sword, he's gonna live by the sword. That's destruction. And what does Yahweh Shai say? He says, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You know? So that son of perdition is talking about back in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, that son of perdition, when you go into that word perdition in the Greek, is apolia, which means destruction, you know? And Esau is that man of destruction. He is that son of perdition, you know, because his blessing was to live by the sword. Let's go to Romans 9 and 13, because when we started this lesson, we started off with Ecclesiastes 3 and 8. It's a time of love and a time to hate, and a time of war and a time for peace, you know? And we're going to prove that it's a time of hate. Let's go to Romans 9 and 13. It says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. And right now, since the son of perdition is being revealed, it's a time of hate. And he hates the son of perdition being Esau, Edom. You know, he hates him because he has a perpetual hate for his brother Jacob. That's in Genesis as well. I think we missed that, actually. Let's go back to Genesis real quick, just real quick. Genesis 27 and 38. It says, 38. Yeah, look, we're Genesis 27 and 41. We missed it, and it says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his brother, where his father blessed them, Salakia. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. And the things that Esau has done to the sons of Jacob, to the 12 tribes, from Judah down to Issachar, there's some very horrible things, especially when they first came to the Americas. You know, they did very horrible things. Esau truly is that man, that son of perdition, that son of destruction. He lives by the sword. That was his blessing, you know. He is, you know, that's if people watch this and they say, well, why would God hate, like, all these other things? Well, that's, you know, if the Lord hates somebody, I'm pretty sure they have a very good reason. And in Esau's case, it's a very good reason, you know. Let's get it in Malachi, where it says that he hates Esau. Malachi 1 and 3, it says, oh damn, and it repeats it right here as well. Let's start from the top. Malachi 1 and 1, it says, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord, and yet I loved Esau? No, Salaki, yet I loved Jacob. Verse 3, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. You know, he loved us. He didn't love he didn't love Esau, you know. He hated Esau. So that's why he laid his mountains and his heritage to waste, and that's what's gonna happen in these last days as well, you know. It says in Obadiah that he's gonna remove the wisdom from Teman and the wise men from the wisdom from Esau, you know. So, you know, this is definitely a time of hate, a time of war, you know. Let's go to Hebrews real quick, because it's even in Hebrews. It's in the New Testament as well, like we just showed you in Romans 9 and 13, but it's in Hebrews as well. Hebrews 12 and 16, it says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. You know, Esau gets described as a profane person. Bebalos. Profane, unhallowed, man, ungodly, unhallowed. That's a, whoa. Unhallowed. That's a very good word. Unhallowed, unholy, wicked, not formally consecrated. He's unhallowed. You know, Esau is is who the Lord hates. You know, how can there be a time of love and a time of peace when Esau is ruling the world by the sword? And Yahushua himself says, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So he has to be met with that equal force, if not greater, by Yahushua. That's why in Isaiah 63 it says that he's coming from Edom with dyed garments from Basra. So let's get that real quick, and then we'll end the lesson right there. It says, Isaiah 63:1, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra, which Basra is the capital of Edom? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, in thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiments. So Yahweh Shai, when he comes, you know, it says, why? Who is this that cometh from Edom with thy garments from Basra? Because he has a special case against the house of Esau. When he goes and destroys their house, when he uproots those people, you know, he's gonna absolutely demolish them. It says that their blood shall be sprinkled upon his garments, and it's gonna stain all his raiment, bro. That means that whatever clothes that Yahushua is wearing, when he goes and destroys Esau, when he goes and destroys Edom, his whole everything is gonna be red. Everything is gonna be red. His whole garments. Let's jump down to verse 4. It says, for the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the ear of my redeemed is come. And that's right. Vengeance. It says in Romans 12, it says that vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Let's look at that word vengeance. So that was just means vengeance. But yeah, vengeance, you know, and that shows you another example that this is a time of war. Like we just showed you in Salakia. Like we just showed you in Matthew Salakia. Like we just showed you in Matthew 10 and 34 that he came not to bring peace but a sword. You know, like we just how we just read in the beginning of this lesson in Ecclesiastes 3 and 8 that, you know, there's a time for war and a time for peace, a time for love, and a time for hate. Well, we're definitely in the time of hate, and we're definitely in the time of war. So, you know, that it's you know, Esau is gonna come. Esau's gonna get what he has put out in the world, you know. He definitely is. And not only that, he's gonna reap every single thing, but double. Double. Literally double. Let's get that actually, let's just end the lesson right there. But, you know, that's basically what this lesson was about. A time of war, and a time for peace, and a time for love, and a time for hate. And with that, I want to say, Call Hala Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Kagadash. The water Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai for giving me the spirit to make this lesson. And Wa Abba Ba Shalom.